Hello and welcome to a Shop My Stash makeup basket video. I do these videos about every 2 to 3 weeks and I pick about 4 items at a time to use along with project pan items. It's just a way for me to rotate through my collection and make sure things are not getting neglected and collecting dust. The first half of the video, I'm gonna recap the products that I had in my last Shop My Stash, and then the second half of the video, I will be picking out new products. If you want to see more, I do have a whole Shop My Stash playlist. I will link that in the description box, and let's just get into it. The first item that I had was a blush. This is from Burt's Bees and this is Toasted Cinnamon. This really was hyped up on YouTube for quite a while and I gotta say I really do enjoy it, and I found a way I really do like wearing this. This is a very pigmented blush, and as you can tell it's very orangey brown. But it's really smooth and it is easy to blend, but yeah, definitely a high pigment blush. So I'm wearing this today kind of here. And what I've been doing is mixing it in with like a peachier or a more neutral blush. So I'm wearing like a more neutral blush here, and then I'm wearing this here. And that's what I did quite a bit with this, and I really do like that. I did wear it on its own a little bit, and I still like it that way, but I will say that, yeah, I mean, the color is pretty intense. So on its own, I think a lot of people wouldn't necessarily like this, but I have loved combining it with other blushes. So yeah, I'm really glad that I used that. And then I had a bronzer. This is by ColourPop. This is the one called Coconut Beach. And I had not used this in a while, so I'm really happy that I had picked this out. I really enjoyed it. It's a bronzer, so it's not super duper exciting. This leans a bit more warm tone, but it's definitely not orange. It has a bit more of that neutralness to it, if you will. It's smooth, it's easy to blend. I mean, I don't really have anything negative to say about this, so yeah, it's kind of funny because look how much cooler toned it is than the blush. I really enjoyed this bronzer, easy to use, and yeah, I think it's great. Then I had a highlighter, and I gotta say this really surprised me because this is something I had not used in a long time. This is from Morphe and this is in the shade Extra. And I hadn't used this in a really long time, and I do love it. I don't buy from this brand anymore, but I have this highlighter and I am going to continue to use it. It is, I mean, it's a champagne gold. I am wearing this today. It is very intense. I did wear it some days just a bit more subtle, and then other days I did mix it in with other highlighters. But I got to say, this is very smooth and there are no glitters in this at all. It is surprisingly finely milled. There it is right there. It is incredibly reflective. I definitely like a more intense highlighter, and this is definitely it, but it's not quite to the level of like an Ofra highlighter, which those are very intense. And yeah, absolutely no glitters at all, finely milled. Love the way that it looks. Yeah, I'm really impressed with this. So I'm happy that I pulled this out because I don't even remember the last time that I had used this highlighter, which is why I'm really glad that I do this Shop My Stash to try to pick things that I had not reached for in quite a while. And last up, I did have an eyeshadow palette, and this is the Marc Jacobs Glambition palette. And I really enjoyed this too. There really were no duds in this round. I think this is a great palette. And I talked about this a couple months ago when I did a ranking new palettes video. I bought this sometime this summer on sale for $24. Full price, it's $50. I don't really think it's worth $50. This is a very pigmented formula though, very smooth. I mean, it's not super unique color-wise. They do have quite a lot of other color stories though. So, I mean, I think for this few eyeshadows, I definitely don't think it's worth the $50, which is why I never paid full price. But I mean, if you can get these for 50% off, Marc Jacobs has been having so many sales on their website and on other websites. When I got this 50% off, that was, I think, on the Neiman Marcus website. But anyway, it is great. I will say the mattes are kind of crazy pigmented. You have to be very careful with them. What I really love about this palette are the metallic shades. They are so smooth. So these 3 here, yeah, the mattes are definitely, you know, they are easy to blend, but I just had to be really careful because I kept accidentally putting way too much on the brush because they're so pigmented. But the metallics I love. I mean, these are so foiled and these are really light swatches. These do not require a wet brush at all. yeah, I gotta say, I'm definitely impressed with this, but I do like the metallics more than the mattes just because I feel like they're a little bit easier to work with. So, you know, very neutral palette, but I really did enjoy using it. That is it for the recap portion of this video. I gotta say, I really had some good stuff in this round. My favorite though are the highlighter and the eyeshadow palette. I really enjoyed those. I like the blush too. The bronzer, I mean, it's good, but I have other bronzers that I really like as well, but I'm glad that I did get some use out of it. So yeah, that is it for the recap. And now let's get into picking some new products. All right, we are gonna start with the blush and the bronzer drawer. I think I do want to pick one of each. Let's just start with the bronzers. I think last time I debated using this. This is the Marc Jacobs. This is the one called Tantric. I'm kind of tempted to use this because this is something I am debating completely trying to finish in a project. Not right now, but sometime in the near future, because as you can tell, I do have a lot of pan on that. So actually, I think I want to go with this to see if I can actually expand the pan. Blush-wise, I'm considering the Island Time palette. I got this a couple months ago, and I used it a few times when I first got it, but then I didn't really use it after that. And I love this because I love the Ofra blushes and the Ofra highlighters. So that's a possibility there. Let's see this Marc Jacobs one. I do use this fairly regularly. This is called Flesh and Fantasy. It's just like a peachy neutral shade. Not sure. Okay, here's something I'm strongly considering. This is from Undone Beauty. I did get this in PR. This is a cream blush. This is in the shade Rosy. It is a beautiful pink color. So the reason I'm debating this is because I've had a sudden urge to buy liquid blush. My only issue with this, I don't know if you can tell, but there's a few like little hairs getting in there because how I use this is I just like put some on, put it on my cheeks and blend it in. I've been wanting to buy either the Flower Beauty liquid blushes because those are in a squeezy tube and I just feel like that would be easier to use than this. Or everybody's been talking about those Charlotte Tilbury ones. I know. So I'm kind of trying to use my cream products basically to see if I'd even use those products enough. So I really do like this, but I guess this style of packaging isn't necessarily my favorite for a cream blush. All right, let's pick a highlighter. Lot of options here. I definitely own quite a few highlighters. This, I will say, so I had posted about this on Instagram recently. This is one of the older products in my collection. This is the ColourPop palette. I think it's called Gimme More. And I do like this. I haven't used this in many months. So that's a contender there. Let's see what else. The Charlotte Tilbury, this was just in a project pan, so I've used that a lot. The Artist Couture, this was recently in my project 10 uses, so I used that very recently. Here's something I don't reach for a lot. I think I had this in a Shop My Stash sometime last year. This is the LC highlighter in Pearly Glaze. This is nice. It's just not as intense on the face as it looks in the pan, which is okay, but I usually do prefer a more intense type highlighter. Let me think here. I've decided to just go with the ColourPop because I haven't used this in a very long time. All right, let's pick an eyeshadow palette. I decided to pick this drawer right here. This is, I keep a lot of smaller palettes right here. We've got the Natasha Denona Mini Lila. I like this one. It's definitely not my favorite. I just don't love the combination of like three very purpley shades with very neutral. I don't know. I think I would rather be like all purple or all neutral, but that's just me. Let's see, the Nabla palette. So I recently did a video called Top 5 Bottom 5 Eyeshadow Palettes, and this is in the bottom 5. It's not bad. I don't know. The color stories doesn't really intrigue me a whole lot. So I don't know. It's definitely not bad. So I kind of want to maybe try using this a little bit more. And then another one that was also in that video, this is the Huda Rich Nudes. I do really like this color story. It's just the shimmer quality is not the best in my opinion. But actually, now that I'm looking at this, I think I want to pick this because I did recently look up some tutorials with this to kind of try to inspire me to use it a little bit more. So I think I want to go with this palette. Alrighty, that is it for this Shop My Stash. I'm pretty excited to use these items, and yeah, the ones that I had in the last round were really, really great, particularly the eyeshadow and highlighter. I loved those. So yeah, that is it. If you want to see more, I'll link my Shop My Stash playlist and also my Project Pan playlist. And I'm doing a Pan That palette as well. So that is it. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.